Hello everyone. The next session today is begin with Huva by Vishu Gulati. Please welcome her and she is going to start the presentation now.
Thank you so much, Atul. So, hello everyone. Thanks for joining, and it's an honor for me to interact with you all today. So, those who had joined Meet Magento India last year, so I hope they remember there was one of the topic, uh, Hoover a New Hope. I'm pretty sure that that gives a new hope to many of the developers and merchants as well. So I'm also one of them. So I'm here today with my topic, begin with Hoover. So this topic basically gives you an idea about how you can start with Hoover, like what Hoover provides you, what the Magento default capability they are using. So we'll see all these in details. So I'm Vishi Guladi and I'm Adobe subject matter expert of front end, and I'm working with VT Netzwelt as a senior software engineer. So VT Netzwelt is an Indo-German company who is founded by Surinder and Henning in 2008, and we are providing high quality web, mobile, and e-commerce application to our customers. So this is all about me and my company. So before starting, uh, I would like to thanks to the Hoover team who provided us such a good storefront to us. Thank you, team. So let's start with our main topics. So we are going to cover these topics in detail today. So we'll see one by one what does it contain. So we'll see a brief about all those. So let's just start with the introduction. So Hoover Themes is actually a brand new front end for Magento to uh, it provides a best developer experience. Apart from that, the performance of Hoover is also very good. Like other Magento theme, Hoover is also a Magento theme. But unlike other Magento theme, what Hoover provides us is like it is built from the scratch. Scratch means you can say everything, like all the layout, all the PHTML, all the JS, all the CSS, everything is removed until and unless got the blank page, and then it painted the blank canvas again to provide us a good e-commerce platform. This is the Hoover thing. And like other themes, you can install it via Composer. All you need the token and the license authentication key to install it. So hope now you have installed it, and then when you get in admin side, you will see two options: Hoover default and Hoover reset. So you can compare it with the Magento blank and Magento Luma, but there's a slight difference in it. So what Hoover reset does, Hoover reset just remove everything until and unless it gets a blank page, and it uses the overriding of template to get this job done. So when it removes everything, then the Hoover defaults come into play, and then it paint that blank canvas again to provide us a beautiful working e-commerce website. So this is all about Hoover. So now we know what is Hoover. Let's see what is new in Hoover. So there are many things, but the most important things are Alpine JS and Tailwind CSS. So, earlier when we were working with the Magento theme, so we had a problem of, a large CSS files, JS files, even after merging as well. So everything was fine, but this is painful to us. And, Mr. Google don't like this. As a result, they affects the ranking of our website, which our customer don't like. So Hoover take care of that. They introduces Alpine JS and Tailwind CSS. So Alpine JS is actually one of a modern lightweight JS library. It allows you to create JS directly in the templates, and just it is in one page, so programming is more easier than the knockout JS. And one more benefit of it is that you don't need to search, okay, which JS is involved in this PHTML or which HTML file is involved in this PHTML. You don't need to worry about that. This is all about it for a, this is all for a developer. But why Google like it? It is just because it is of 26 KB and 8 KB after the gzip. The other thing is, on the other hand, for CSS, it is using Tailwind CSS. So Tailwind CSS is also a utility-based framework, and it is, very easy and nice for building interfaces. And apart from that, we don't end up in a massive set of a style sheet. By default, it is of 2400 KB, but you know, just using the Tailwind purging, we strip out the all the unused CSS classes, and then we get only 35 KB of the CSS, which is almost 7.5 KB of gzip. So that's why this is good in things. So we'll see what is good in it. Let's see what's old thing that is still using. So Hoover is still using the playout thing. You can override it in the same way. It is still using the templates. It is still using the block. It is still using the view models a lot, but it is, there is a slight twist in the view model, which we'll see later. Okay, so all we know, whenever it's come to us as a developer, every owner has their own preferences, has their own taste about the look and the feel of the website. They never want their website to look like the other one. They want their website, specific to them. Maybe it's because color, it's because anything else, it's because of slider. They want some new thing in that. So that's here we started as a developer to override or extend the themes, the base themes. And here we see how we'll override the Hoover. So there are two options available. First, you go for a child theme. Second, you can create a duplicate of Hoover default. So this option totally depends on the requirement. Suppose you have a little bit of requirement, you want to change a little bit of things, then it's easy for you to go for the child theme. And if you have to change a lot of things, like many color, you want to introduce many classes, then go for the duplicate thing. Just because if you want to change a lot of thing but in child theme, then you ended up in a large CSS file which you don't need. So that's why go for duplicate thing. So if you are creating a duplicate theme, then you have two options. You can create in the vendor theme, vendor package, or you can create in app design front end. And if you are creating in a child, if you have decided to create a child theme, so you can create it in the same way you are doing earlier with the Magento. You don't need to change anything. The new part is that you need to, copy the web folder of your Hoover default, and you need to paste it in your child theme. That's it. And the next one more thing which you need to do is that there was a file that is a web tailwind.config.js. This is actually a Tailwind configuration file. So you need to point out your parent theme in this configuration file. Why we need to do that, we'll describe it later. But for now, just know that we need to configure the parent theme. We need to point out the parent theme in this Tailwind configuration file. Working with Tailwind. Tailwind means template layout view. So working with Tailwind is same. You can override it in the same way. You can extend it in the same way. So everything is same. Next one, which we are using most earlier as well, just because view models are more usable and composable in comparison to the blocks. That's why we already worked with it a lot. So Hoover is also using it a lot. But after introducing a lot of view models, they got tired of the long and unnecessary codes in the XML files. And that's where they think, okay, we need to change something. And they come up with Viewmodel Registry. So Viewmodel Registry is good thing for us is that you can access it directly in your templates, like you were using blocks, like you were using escapers, or like you were using helpers. You can exit the view models in the same way in the template file. And then all you need to do, you can use their require function, and you need to pass your view model class, and you can easily get your view models. So now it's not required to define every view models in your templates. So you know, this is the best part. And second thing, it is very easy to use the view models directly in the template. Now we don't need to think, okay, now I need this, then I need to go back into the template file again and need to declare that again. So that is a good part about view model registry. Let's see Tailwind purging. So we have listened many times Tailwind purging, do this. So what is Tailwind purging? What actually it does? So since we know that, and I have already mentioned that, like Tailwind CSS is around of 2400 KB, and it contains a lot of classes. But are we actually using it? Are we actually using all the classes? Just think about it. Like when you're creating a theme, you need only 2 3 colors, but the Tailwind CSS contains a lot of color. Are we going to use that? Simply no, we are not going to use everything. So that's why, Tailwind purging come into the place. So when we compile our CSS, what Tailwind purging does, it extracts the classes from our theme, the used classes of our theme from the main Tailwind classes, main Tailwind CSS. Suppose you have a large Tailwind CSS, but we have used some of the classes in our theme. So it just extracts only those classes and create a new CSS file. And that's where, almost it is large Tailwind CSS, but our used CSS is created only of, very less 35 KB. So this is what Tailwind CSS does. And how it knows, okay, which classes we need to extract, from where we need to extract, we define that in their Tailwind configuration file, which we talked earlier. So there was a folder web Tailwind, and there was a file web tailwind.config.js. You need to define here, okay, purge this content, and if you have installed something new, you have to define that as well. That's how it knows, okay, while purging we need to check this folder as well. So this is what Tailwind purging does. Now I hope you all are aware of Tailwind purging. Let's see how we generate CSS. So to generate CSS, what all you need to do, there was a web folder in your theme. Under that, there was a folder of Tailwind. In that, you need to install the node packages. And then on the basis of your Magento mode, you need to, generate the CSS by these commands. Like if you are in production mode, then you need to run npm run build prod. If you are in development mode, then you need to run npm run watch. And that's it. All is done. So these are the few points with which, like how you can customize it, how you can override it, how you can extend the Hoover theme. But Hoover theme is not limited only to this. There are many more things in Hoover. So let's see further that as well. Hoover widgets. So up to now, we have used Magento widgets a lot. So Hoover widget is a native Magento way of providing us the access so that we can use the CMS ecosystem, with which we are already familiar, to easily create and edit the pages. So it is like good thing for us. We know something, and who is providing us the same framework so that we can utilize it and create a widget for the same. Like other things, you can also install it via Composer, but you need to configure it in the Tailwind configuration file. Now I hope why you need to configure it in Tailwind configuration file. Let's see how, like the types of widgets provided by Hoover. So for now, Hoover provided, for now it is providing only 4 kind of widget. First one is Hoover multi-field widget. Here you can upload multiple image with the content, with button, with URL. In It's up to you. You want to show them in grid, or you want to show them in slider. It's up to you. If you want to show them in grid, there is an option for that. If you want to show them in slider, there is an option for that. If you have decided to show them in slider, then again it has option to provide you the effect, to add the effect also, like you want the slider like in fade in or fade out, or they have those options as well. Second one is have a banner widget. So you can use it to create the banner. We in homepage we mostly use the banner, whether in the top one or in the bottom, in the in between we use the banner. So you can use it. You can add a button on it. You can add the URL on it. You can use all those things, and it's easy, very easy to use. Next one is uh, Hoover category product. So this is basically to showcase the product of a specific category, whether you want to showcase it in a grid way or you want to show it in a slider way. So again, it's up to you how you want to show it. Next question is Hoover content widget. So it is basically used to show the content which you added in the specific editor, and it will showcase the same. So there are many websites which is providing a Tailwind UI component. You can use it, which is available for free. You can use it and do the experiment with the same. So this is all about Hoover widgets. Um, Hoover UI library. So Magento UI library. Many of us work with the Magento UI library, and sometimes it's a little bit painful. But if we talk about Hoover UI library, then it's so easy, uh, very, very, very much easy, because this is they provide a fully functional HTML file instead of any HTML. Fully functional HTML file. What you need to do, you need to go to their Git, just need to copy that HTML and paste where you want it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to install everything in your Magento. What you need, just copy it, just paste it. If you want to do changes in it, just do the changes in that HTML. That's it. So it is very easy to use. And if you remember, like working in a e-commerce website, up to now I have faced many times, like where you need third party extension. So definitely, if you remember, like every third party extension is based on either like Magento Luma. So they have created their front end on the basis of those. But as we know, Hoover is not using those lists. Hoover is not using those JS. So how it would work with Hoover? That's where the compatibility models comes. So a compatibility modules is actually, rebuild all those extensions, not actually rebuild, it just re-implements only those parts of that model which is not working with Hoover storefront. So suppose you have XYZ extension and its front end is not working with the Hoover. So we create a compat model for that, so that it will start working with Hoover as well. So that is compatibility module, and they follow some naming conventions so that everyone is in sync. So if you have a module where like vendor name is a smile and module name is test, then you can create extension with Hoover and then underscore then smile test. And you can, in vendor you need to add Hoover themes as a vendor name. That's it. And the best part is about it is that they are providing a compatibility module tracker where everyone can go and check, okay, if I want to use XYZ extension, the compat module is available or not. If it is available, you can use it. If it is not available, you can create and help the other one as well for the same. So for helping each other, it's a best place and you can utilize it very well. So let's move forward. So and in e-commerce website, we have if you have gone through many points, it's fine. But it is not possible that we don't talk about the checkout, because this is the final step for every e-commerce, because this is the main point where the merchant is earning their money. So that's why it is the most important thing. So for now, Hoover supports two kinds of checkout. First one is the Hoover checkout. Second one is the Luma checkout. So Hoover checkout is basically a React checkout, which is created by React. It is open source. You can use it on Luma, on Hoover, on PWA. But if you have decided to use it on Luma or on PWA, you need to do some of the changes, but it will work fine with the Hoover. If we talk about the dependencies, then all you need is some knowledge of React, some knowledge of Magento GraphQL, some knowledge of Node, and you are ready to go. If we talk about the benefit of React checkout, so here I would like to little bit of comparison, because if you have worked with Luma checkout, sometimes it's very painful to customize it just because of how it is built. And while loading, it loads almost 400 files with including HTML, including JS to load that single page. But if we talk about an React checkout, so if you have a knowledge of React, then it is very easy to you to customize it, to use their element. And it just need only one JS file. That's why it is it's fast as well while loading. So this is the main benefit of React checkout. Luma checkout, suppose now you have decided you want to use the Luma checkout. What all you need to do is you need to install the checkout for the themes. So Hoover provide a Luma checkout. So go and install it, and then you need to configure the fallback theme. In case you are using any third party theme, or in case you are using any other theme other than Luma, then you need to configure it in the admin side. Otherwise, by default, Luma is the fallback theme, and the checkout uses Luma theme. So this is all about the checkout. So we have talked about many things which is related to only to the storefront, but Hoover is not limited to the storefront. And that's where the admin parts come. So that's where they introduce the Hoover admin. So let's see. So what Hoover admin do? Hoover admin provide you a new way to create a grid. And the best part is that it don't affect the existing grids and forms. So at any point you decided, okay, you want to use a Hoover admin, you can go for it, install it, and start working on it. It won't affect the existing your grids in existing form. So that's the main benefit of it. Like other extension, it can be also installed via Composer. They also provide you a test module so that you can do experiment with it, learn from it, and that's it. The best thing about Hoover is that they don't cram your Magento with everything. If you want anything, just go and install it. Like if you want the Hoover widget, just install it. If you don't need it, don't install it. If you want Luma checkout, install it. If you don't need, don't install it. If you want admin, then install it. It is not just composing it and making us to compulsory that you need to install it. That's good about Hoover. Let's see a little bit of pros and cons. So if we think about the pros, then it provides a better performance, definitely. Next is fast development, as working with the Alpine JS and Tailwind CSS is more easier. That's why the development is also fast. Improve developer experience, just because we don't need to go for many of the files. So that's why as per developer, their experience is also improved. Optimize site. So I think this is the main point where it comes. So the site is very much optimized. The scores of the website is good after using it. And the best part is Hyvä community. So in Hyvä community, like if you have any problem, you can ask there anytime. And the best part is everyone there is ready to help you at any time, whether it's Vinay, whether it's William, whether it's anyone else from the Hyvä community, they are ready to help you. Little bit of cons, I would don't say cons, it's just a little bit of concerns. That is the cost. Definitely we know the cost of Hyvä is €1,000, which is which means a lot for us. But there is a surprise on that as well, which we'll talk about later. Second one is new technology. Yeah, it's using Alpine and Tailwind. So maybe in starting, initially, it's painful for us to learn those technology. Third is third-party extension. So currently, it is using as we using third-party extension. So we don't know like the compat model is available or not. So, but the way they are working, maybe future this will be solved as well. Which we are talking about is the PPP discount. So for now, they are providing us a purchasing power parity discount for the countries who are undervalued currencies compared to the euros. So if you are from any of that country, then you can avail it. So if you want it, you need to contact them. From the contact is from, they provide you the discount. The thing is that, like, if you are from a country, then you can use that coupon only for that country. So only the merchant of that country can utilize it. And they are up to them whether they want to, provide you that discount or not. It's up to them because they do the validation of your business address. To conclude it, we can only say for now, as a developer point of view, Alpine is very helpful for us. But on the other hand, if we need many third-party extension, so there can be a problem, just because we are not sure that compat module of every third-party extension is available or not. But on the other hand, as they are working, as the Hoover community is working, hope that will be sorted soon, very soon. And if we talk about a merchant point of view, then many big merchant don't want this. They want PWA. They are okay with that. But there are some other merchants, like small merchant and medium scale merchants, who don't need PWA. They sometimes they know don't need it. Sometimes they cannot afford it. So Hoover is best option for them as well. So it is good to utilize it instead of going for other things, other templates or other themes. So it's good option for them. So this is all about Hoover. I hope you like that. And if you have any query, you can contact us. And thank you all. Thank you all for the sessions. Thank you all for here.
Well, thank you, Vishy, for such a delightful session.
Thank you, Shan.
Bye. Take care.